going to be moving through a 15-minute full body mobility routine. This is good whether you're a beginner or advanced mover, whether you just want to relieve some tension and stress in the body, or you've got a bit of joint pain. If you do this one every day, I guarantee you're going to feel lighter, more mobile, and more agile. So let's get going. Coming onto your hands and knees. We're just going to start by moving the shoulders forward, big circles over the wrists. You can play with the wrists being one direction, or maybe flipping the palms, fingers facing backwards. Big deep breaths into the belly here. Your breath is one of the most important aspects of mobility because it helps to calm the nervous system. So let's practice breathing into the belly. Big deep breath out. Big deep breath in. Big deep breath out. One more. Maybe find a new position of the wrists. Maybe flipping those palms. Big deep breath in. Big deep breath out. Good. Finding neutral position with those fingertips. We're going to be taking our right hand, reaching that right hand through the window, and then reaching that palm up towards the sky. A little bit of spinal rotation here, making sure the spine can rotate in all directions, reaching up. Thinking about like you want to high five the person beside you. Big high five, and then reach up to the sky. Nice. Let's do one more like that. Now when we slide through, I want you to see if you can place that hand on the floor, push into the floor, and then twist looking up towards the sky. Slide that hand through the window, push into the floor, twist to the sky. Same rotation, but you should feel this a little bit more between the shoulder blades. One more time, slide through, twist. We're going to do one more with the right hand. We're going to get some big circles going here. Now working that shoulder joint. Big circle up. Switch directions. Reaching as far forward as you can. Once you've done a few of those, you're going to get your bicep to ear here. So right hand, bicep to ear. And then try to reach for the opposite shoulder blade. Kind of like you want to unhook your bra strap. So bicep to ear, reaching opposite shoulder blade. Nice. Big deep breaths into that belly. Big deep breaths out. Big deep breaths in. Big deep breaths out. Good. Placing that palm onto the floor. Just a little bit of strength now. We're going to extend that right hand straight, and that left leg is going to come back. We're just going to hold it here while we're breathing. Big inhale. Exhale, lift that belly to spine. Send that energy through the heel. Big inhale. Big exhale. One more. Big inhale. Big exhale, placing that palm down. Let's do everything on the other side, starting with sliding the left hand through the window. Try to high five your neighbor, and then reaching up towards the sky. Slide that hand through the window, reaching up towards the sky. Good. Big deep breaths into the belly. Big deep breaths out. Good. Now we're going to reach that hand onto the floor. Pushing into the floor, and then twist looking up. So that back of the hand is going to twist to the floor. Push, push, push. And then twist looking up to the sky. Nice. Good. 3, 2, 1 more. Beautiful. That spine should feel nice and loose. We're gonna get some big circles now with the left hand. Can I make sure to not move my chest? So keep the chest pointing down. This shouldn't hurt, so just make sure that if it does hurt, maybe you start with wide circles and then gradually get bigger and bigger. Really working that shoulder, switch direction. Nice. Big inhales, big exhales. Good. We're gonna go bicep to ear and then reach for the opposite shoulder. Bicep to ear, reach for opposite shoulder. Nice. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Awesome. I'm gonna pick up that left leg. Oh, yep, left leg is gonna go straight. Actually, sorry. You're gonna do right leg straight out and left hand extended. Just holding the air, finding your deep belly breaths. Big deep breath in, big deep breath out, big deep breath in, big deep breath out. Last one. And out, placing those hands down. Now we're gonna pick up that left leg. Let's kick that heel to sky. I'm gonna rotate that knee and just make 3 big circles, just like that. Rotate the knee, working that hip. On that third one, I'm gonna see if I can lift that knee till that foot meets my hands. Option to stay here. See if you can push your bum forward, pulling my hips forward towards the bench. I'm gonna play with walking my hands to the outside of my mat, walking them to the other side. Walking my hands to the outside of the mat, walking to the other side. Nice. For 3. Breathing here. The more I breathe, the more I'll be able to really sink into these movements. For 2. And for 1, bringing your hands back to neutral. Thinking about the right hip now. So I've got my left hip extended here. My right hip is gonna tilt towards the mat, and I'm gonna look over the shoulder as far as I can. We're tackling that psoas, coming back to center. Big dip, right hip towards the mat, looking over the shoulder, and then dipping it back. 2 more. Big, deep inhale. Twist, looking over and back. Last one. Good. Coming back to center here. See if you can just get a different angle of this left foot. Maybe flopping it to the side. And see if you can use that inside palm to massage that knee nice and wide. Really feeling that femur in that hip socket. Good. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Option here to just stay with the back knee to the floor. If you can, you're going to try to tuck the toes under and lift that leg up off of the floor. You can shift the weight forward and back. Just make sure this feels really comfortable. Otherwise, keep that knee down. You're going to play with sliding that hand through the window like we just did before. And then give me a big circle with that hand like we did those shoulder circles. So sliding that hand through the window. And reach that palm, big line across the sky. If your back knee is up, same thing. I'm going to slide that hand through the window. Make a nice big line across the sky. Good. For 3. For 2. And for 1. If my knee is down on the mat, you're going to sink those hips back, finding that hamstring. Wiggle the toes forward and back. If you want to keep the knee up off of the mat, you can simply shift the weight backwards. Same thing. Wiggle the toes, coming back to lunge. Sinking it back. Wiggle those toes. Bringing it back. Good. So whichever one you're playing with, I'm going to keep my knee onto my mat here. Wiggling it forward and back. Good. For 3. For 2. And for 1, let's pick up that leg and place it right back where it was. So good. We're going to try the other side now. Lifting that heel up towards the sky. Big circle. Lift. Big circle. 1 more. Can I place that foot up where my palms are? Good. Maybe sliding that back knee back, maybe pushing those hips nice and forward here. Just see how this feels, shifting that weight forward and back. Good. Nice. Just really sinking into that hip. Big circle. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get that left hip towards the floor, looking over the shoulder, and then coming back to center. Left hip tilts down towards the floor, looking over that shoulder, coming back to center. Let's do a few more just like that. Nice. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Awesome. We're going to keep that weight forward. I'm going to slide that right hand through the window and then make a nice big line across the sky. Slide that hand through the window. Nice big line across the sky. Beautiful. If you can even pick up that back leg, slide it through the window, reaching up and back. Remember, there's no rush here. See if you can move with your inhales and your exhales. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be, but right here. Let any other thoughts just dissipate in your mind. Nice. For 2. And for 1. Good. If you'd like, you can drop that back knee. We're going to shift the weight back. Wiggle the toes. And then come forward. If you're onto your back toes, you can just shift the weight back, straighten that front leg, wiggle the toes, and come back. Here we go. Playing with your variation today. Maybe even playing with the dragonflies if you're out in the sun. Can you keep your spine nice and long? Good. For 3. 2. And 1. Now bringing that foot a little bit wider if you can, making big circles with that inside hand, seeing if you can flop that foot to a different angle, massaging that knee, sinking those hips closer and closer towards the floor. Beautiful. Couple more here for 3. Maybe you can hear the splashes or the sounds of the cicada bugs. For 2. And for 1, we forgot 1 more. We're going to walk our hands to one side of the mat and then walk our hands to the other side of the mat. Walking hands. Just playing here, sinking into that hip, pulling those hips forward. Nice. Breathing. For 2. And for 1, let's pull that foot all the way back to our hands and knees. Last one before we transition here. On the inhale, I'm going to drop the shoulder blades down the back, and I'm going to look up towards the sky and also lift my tailbone towards the sky. On that exhale, pushing the hands and the knees into the mat. See if I can round. We did a lot of rotation. Inhale, looking up. But flexion and extension just as important for the back. Nice. For 2. Couple more here. Last one. Big inhale. Draw those shoulder blades back and down. And exhale. Push everything into the mat. Beautiful. Coming back here. So good. We're almost there. We're going to bring our feet forward. And we're going to draw 2 big L's with my knees. So my left knee is 90 degrees and my right knee is 90 degrees. Especially if I've got a lot of hip discomfort, I want to see if I can just squeeze my bum, thinking about my pelvis as a bowl, and really try to push this hip forward. So my back's not moving. I can even dig my fingertips into my mat and just isolate that hip, really moving here. A few reps. So just my little hip is moving. It's a micro movement. Pushing those fingertips into the floor. Make sure your back's not moving. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Now we're going to pick up that back knee. See if I can send that back knee towards the sky and bringing it back down. Looking up with that knee. Good. For 3. 2. 1. Beautiful. If you want to keep going here, you can. Otherwise, you're going to sit up nice and tall. I'm going to push my hip forward. So squeeze that back bum cheek, twist, reach that hand to opposite knee, look over the shoulder. So it's my right hand to my left leg. And then coming back. Maybe you come back and lift that knee up. Inhale, twist, looking over. Exhale, lifting up. Good. For 3. 2. And 1. Can we flop those knees? Other side. Really moving here. I'm going to squeeze the bum, push that hip forward, back and forth. Really isolate that hip. Push those fingertips into your bench or your mat. Nice. This is a really deep hip opener. I know it seems like you're not doing a lot, but you actually are doing so much for that hip. Now playing with lifting that knee up off of the floor, bringing it back down. For 3, 2, 1. You can keep going here if that's where you're at and you're most comfortable there. Otherwise, we're going to combine movements. So picking up that knee, squeezing the bum, pushing that hip forward. Left leg meets right knee, twisting, looking over the shoulder, and then coming back. Lift that knee up, squeeze the bum, twist, and then come back. Nice. Beautiful. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Just to close here, we're going to cross those legs. We're going to work that neck and shoulder connection. So I'm going to drop my ear to one side. So I've got my right ear to right shoulder, reaching the opposite hand out. Maybe turning that palm up to face the sky. Opening up that shoulder, finding that connection, nice long chin as far away from that shoulder as possible. For 2. And for 1, maybe even dropping that hand to push into your back and holding this little stretch here. Big inhale. Big exhale. Drop that shoulder down away from the ear. You can even use the opposite hand to just massage, gently massage that trap area or the back of the neck. For 2. Big inhale. Big exhale. Let out all that tension. 1 more. And let it out. So good. Slowly, you're going to drop that chin towards the chest. Looking to the opposite side. Left ear to left shoulder, outstretching the opposite hand. Tilting that palm, so rotating that palm towards the sky. Keeping that chin nice and long away from the shoulder. You can even play with the angle of the hand. Maybe it's further forward, maybe further back behind you. For 2. And for 1, now reaching that palm back behind you, pushing into the back, drop the shoulder away from the ear. And just breathing here. That opposite hand, you can use it to just massage the tension in the trap. Big inhale. Big exhale. Big inhale. Big exhale. 1 more. Deeply breathe into that belly. And let it go. Amazing. 1 more time. Just rotating that chin to chest. Even pressing your hands onto the back of the head. Gentle stretch. And then whenever you're ready, slowly roll up. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. I'll be doing more. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like or a comment down below, and we'll see you soon. I do have the full embodied movement course if you are looking for more joint relief, pain relief, all of those things. I'll pop it into the link or the comments below. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me personally. Thanks, everyone.